Good day, everyone. So we'll continue with the talk on Platform Sutra, chapter Prajna. Now, last time on April 23rd, 2023, we mentioned about this Dharma realms. And then we come to the place where we talk about the four great elements of our body. And, and we talk about this, the last one referring to the element of the wind. And now we continue on the so-called realm, the dhatu of a body. And it could be used in Buddhism as the 5 realms or the 6 realms. It's referring to our eyes, our ears, our nose, our tongue, our body, and that is the physical body. And then one more is referring to the mind. And a little bit for the mind, it's a little bit difficult to really explain about it. But anyway, it's about 6 realms right there. And when we look at our activities in the mind, then we see the activity through eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body, that it all has reflection into our mind. And then the last one is the so-called consciousness. Then we could divide it even further on with this referring to the 6 consciousness, the 6, the 7, and the 8. So in this mind or in this consciousness, there are 3 parts. One is the 6th, and then the 7 and the 8, 3 of them. All together, we call it the consciousness, or call it the mind. So all together, we have 8 realms here. So our activities are included if we use the eyes. Then we have the so-called eye consciousness. And if we use our ears, then we have the ear consciousness. And we use the nose, then we have the nose consciousness. And a tongue, which actually is referring to the mouth. Then we have the tongue consciousness. So that form 5. And then of course there's the body too, the body. So it formed the so-called the 5 realms here. And all of these activities, they have names. And what through this 5 realms there, we have names, and then it gets into our mind. Our mind will function like memory, like guessing something, we reckon something. So it is called the realm of the so-called mind or the consciousness. And it is the sixth consciousness called mind consciousness. And then we will live and we will die. So when we die, then all the consciousness include the six, it's finished, it die out. And what is left to go to the next life will be the so-called the seven consciousness and the eight consciousness. One is called the mano consciousness, which is the seven. And then the eight is called the alaya consciousness. So it's eight of them. So this so-called mano consciousness is the one that is grasping, that is called the I. And then what is it that is grasping? Grasping on the eight consciousness as the I. And the eight consciousness is the alaya consciousness. And that is a storehouse. And that storehouse stores all the activities, all the karma that we accumulated from innumerable lifetime before. Whatever that is created, the karma is right there. And it is called the eight consciousness. So who will know there is the eight consciousness, which is the seven consciousness. The seven consciousness hold on to this eight consciousness as the I to move from one life to the other. So in the future, we will have many lives to come because of the attachment of the seven consciousness. Now, if we don't have this seven and the eight consciousness, then we won't be able to go from one life to the others. Because for the sixth consciousness, when we die, sixth consciousness will also stop functioning. So talking about this, how many kinds of the activity of the mind that we have? Okay, we talk about this 8, right? But actually, whatever that we could realize or notice, it's just 6. Because the 7 and the 8 consciousness, it doesn't belong to the so-called psychology. It doesn't belong to our it doesn't belong. It belongs to the so-called mental activities. But the 7 and the 8 referring to the so-called spirit power, the power of the spirit. It's coming from this life to the other life. So whatever that we recognize or we could feel. It's just up to the sixth consciousness. So in here, there are questions. Maybe people that conscious, they are curious that they could ask, what was my past life? Am I coming from the heaven or coming from the hell? Or where did I come from? I came from another world. Well, there are some people who know, but very rare that people would know about our past. The reason being is that when we die, the sixth consciousness, which is the consciousness that has a function of memory, it will remember. Now, when the sixth consciousness die, all the cells there also die together. So whatever memory there, it's gone. So therefore, the nervous system there is not functioning because the person is already dead. And this memory will not go together from this life to the other life. Therefore, the majority of people will not know what is the past life is like. But it is just the karma that we created through whatever that we did in this lifetime or whatever that we did in the past life. The karmic force, it's called karmic force, will lead us to go from one life to the other. And because of this, there are people who think, okay, whatever I did, either I did the good things or I did something bad. Next life, I won't know it, right? Because next life, it will be another person. Why should I care about this? And next life, it's not me who received the retribution. So why should I bother to think about it? Because I don't remember. I don't know. And why should I bother to work very hard for this lifetime, this time that I'm here, to strive so diligently to do all the good deeds? Because next time I don't know. What is it? I don't know. Well, given an analogy, it is likened to what? It is likened to, okay, you did something bad, and then you go to bed to sleep. And the morning you get up, you forget about whatever that you did the day before, right? But what happened is, will the police will come after you? You said, no, I didn't know anything, right? But now they all have this record that, okay, putting down. Even nowadays, more advanced in technology, they could use the DNA to make sure that whoever that is doing these things. So this is something about the so-called Dharma doctrine. And when we look at this, it divided into many realms right there, because it comes into different categories. But what about this, the state of the Buddhahood? When it's reaching this Buddhahood, then it becomes one Dharma realm. All this discrimination, all of these differences, all of these categories, all different levels, they all in the Dharma realm, and it's called the Buddha realm. So the Buddha realm will include all the Dharma. So for the Buddha realm, it will look at it as something in one whole thing. It's not just like detail, one by one. And you could say it is the totality of everything. When it is realizing this Buddha realms. And here we talk about in the platform Sutra, the so-called profound Dharma doctrine. Here is referring to that one Dharma realm. So for sentient beings, then they have the differentiations. They have part by part, layer by layers, stage by stage. But when reaching Buddhahood, there is no discrimination, no differences, but it is the whole picture. So it is likened to the analogy of looking at a forest or the woods. Then we have one tree after the others. And they are plants, and they're different leaves, different kind, different species, right? This is the way we look at things. Like we are sentient beings, or we are just ordinary people. But when reaching Buddhahood, then it will not look at it in one plant after the other, one tree after the others. But it's the whole thing, it's the whole forest right there. Looking at it as a totality. So for the ordinary people, even in a family, we have so many realms right there. So we think about a family, we think about the people in the family, and we think about our poverty, and it's different with the poverty of the other people. And then if it is in a group, then it's one group after the others. And if it is the community, one community and the other community, and it's expanded to a country, then this country is different from from the other country. And another thing is that the Buddha's land is different. So this Buddha land, this Buddha Pure Land and the other Buddhist Pure Land is different. So this is the standpoint of our sentient beings, of the ordinary people. And it's just right from the beginning when we come to this world, we see that they're different. But when reaching Buddhahood, then there is no differences between this to that. So people may also ask, what about the Western Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha and the Eastern Pure Land of the Medicine Buddha? Are they the same or are they different? And did they occupy any space for this? That is something that people may ask. And this person, what I heard is that that person died when he was very young. And the parents was kind of sad, very sad. And somehow someone told them that, okay, he was reborn in what? In the northern Buddha Pure Land. Here means, of course, since the being has attachment. So the Buddha, when the Buddha look at the Buddha land, it's the same. And Buddha land is like they're connected. Now it is just because for the experience means of the sentient beings. Therefore, sentient being with different levels, with different vows, and whatever that is, they are having this tendency, then they will receive the different Pure Lands. So that it is like, okay, there's the Western Pure Land, there is the Eastern Pure Land, there's Northern Pure Land. All the Pure Land of the Maitreya Buddha, the Buddha to be. So wherever a sentient being wanted to be reborn there, then it's up to their vows. Because of the attachments of sentient beings. But for the Buddha, there's no difference. And this kind of practice, we could practice somehow to realize that. And what are they involved? Well, we learn about the practice through meditation, prostration, reciting Buddha's name, reciting the sutras, and doing repentance. There's so many different methods. And if we practice very diligently, then it's possible that we could recognize all the brilliance are connected. That is possible. But we have to put our time into practice very diligently. There are many practitioners who recite the Buddha's name, Amitabha's Buddha's name, single-mindedly, and they feel, they will experience something. You could say that they experience a so-called some kind of mysterious power, because they are really, really putting the practice into reciting the name of Amitabha Buddha. So that is possible, that they could feel, even they could feel, you know, they visit the Pure Land there. What happened? Well, if I don't have much time to really practice so diligently, I don't have time to put all my practice, all my time into practice. Well, at least we could do something that we could kind of imagine what it's like. So in the daily life, we will not put so much emphasis on discriminating between this and that. Discriminating that this and that, they are two opposite things. But this is through our mind and just what we think, imagine. And then when it comes to feel the feeling of vexations between ourselves and the environment, or there's some struggle there, conflicts there. And because we are imagining this world of the Buddha as one, so we think that, yeah, everything just become one, then we will not be that attached, because we are, you could say that we are the same. Now, this is in this way, it could lessen our attachment. And it's possible that somehow we could realize that. So that is the meaning of the so-called profound Dharma Dhatu. And that profound Dharma Dhatu referring to one Ram. So that is the special term for this. Another thing is the so-called the samadhi of prajna. So we need to elaborate more about this samadhi. So this samadhi or prajna, and this word about this profound Dharma dhatu, well, actually the meaning is the same. And samadhi, there are many, many kinds of samadhi. Now this word is from Sanskrit or Pali. And it could translate into quite a few meanings. If, first of all, you are more settled with your mind, this is called some kind of samadhi. If you reach the unification of your mind, then it could be a samadhi. And if you don't have wandering thoughts, that could be another samadhi. And when we are more settled with our mind, and when we look at the world, we could see them clearer, more clarity, and we could also call this samadhi. In the highest wisdom from the Buddha, we also call it samadhi. So we know that samadhi means many of these things. You could say they are, we put them into three different categories. One is called the settledness, or we just uses samadhi. And then another one is called wisdom. So this is another kind of samadhi. And then the third one is samadhi and wisdom simultaneously. So the first one, the samadhi, they are more profound samadhi, and they are shallow samadhi. So the so-called shallow one, referring to, okay, our mind is more settled, more quiet, but deeper samadhi, that could refer to, we don't have any wandering thoughts in our mind. So samadhi itself, it could be shallow and in depth. And then wisdom. Wisdom also have profound wisdom as well as shallow wisdom. Shallow wisdom referring to we are more clear mind. Okay. So we are clearer, our mind is clearer. And then we could be more objective. No, we could be more subjective in seeing things, in realizing things. If it is this deeper wisdom, then there's no attachment there. There's no vexation there. Even no birth and death. And that all of these are called wisdom. And then the third one is samadhi and wisdom simultaneously, or the keeping of samadhi and wisdom to the same. So there's no separation right there between samadhi and wisdom, but they are the same. And then we know that when it is in samadhi, the functioning of wisdom is there. When it is functioning wisdom, the samadhi never leave from it. So this is called samadhi and wisdom simultaneously. And even for this word samadhi, it has some in-depth meaning to it. As we know that samadhi, there are 3 kinds of samadhi. Each level is different. And we could say that there are many methods of practice. It's also referring to as samadhi. Say someone could present very well taught. So that is the samadhi in talking. Someone could write very good words, very good essage. It is called word samadhis. And there are people who use the method of the ear to hear. And they also become the hearing samadhi. So there are many, many methods that could give rise to this samadhi, wisdom, and samadhi, wisdom simultaneously. They all call samadhi. So people who play very well with the musical instrument, it's samadhi. And people who paint very well, very talented, very concentrated, that is another kind of samadhi. And people also ask, what about people who really good in scolding people? Would they be able to enter into samadhi? Well, if we use this mind with hatred, this mind with greediness, and our mind is fluctuating really bad. You're scolding people and you don't feel comfortable. How could it be that somebody enter into samadhi like this? So if we do something with a very peaceful mind, very settled mind, then anything we could enter into certain concentration, plus the guideline of the principles of Buddha Dharma, then it's possible that we could refer to that as samadhi. So writing calligraphy could be, samadhi as well. Okay, now I will stop here. So we mentioned about this realm in a different ways. And now we're talking about this samadhi. And samadhi could be very profound. So this is the talk for today.